Story 1. I think what is behind it is that Donald Trump is a fucking idiot who fell for an artificial intelligence video and thinks it is real. Story 2. What the absolute fuck? The video in question has been taken down. Archived copies exist. Does anyone know how to download and mirror it? Story 3. Elysium has been airing on Encore since last Wednesday. I saw a TikTok last year showing a similar pattern. A woman identified a time gap when he was not tweeting, noted that a particular movie was airing, and then he tweeted a fictional scenario inspired by that movie. I will try to find it. Story 4. This distracts from his being on the Epstein files and counters news that he is sending troops to blue American cities to clean up crime, which amounts to a fascist takeover by eliminating opposition. Story 5. He has the memory of a goldfish and thought it was a news story about something he had discussed earlier. He is so addled that he does not realize he did not give that interview. Story 6. Wishful thinking. It seems like Dementia Don couldn't sleep and ended up listening to conspiracy theories from whatever Generation Z staffer who was still up and hopped up on their roommate's attention deficit hyperactivity disorder medication. In all seriousness, we are seeing symptoms of dementia manifest as shitposts, memes, and conspiracy theories from the person with the most power in the world. Story 7. The fact that Trump, the rapist, and other people in power want to bury the Epstein files so much says it is far worse than most people can imagine. One thing you have to give pedophiles is that they drive slowly through school zones. Here are Epstein files that have either been leaked or released. Verified court documents, portable document format, unredacted black book, verified, pre-Bondi. Trump is listed on page 85, portable document format page 80. Trump's name is circled. The circled individuals are allegedly those involved in the trafficking ring, according to the person who originally released the book. These people would be The List. A video story on YouTube about The List. Flight logs released in United States versus Maxwell. Other Epstein information. A California court document in the Johnson versus Trump case alleging Epstein and Trump raped a 13-year-old together. Some people think this claim is a hoax. See Katie's testimony on YouTube. Epstein pleads the Fifth Amendment when asked if he ever socialized with underage girls in the presence of Trump. See a short video on YouTube. Epstein documents archived in online archives. Epstein bribes and payments. Over $1 billion. See documentary video. Other Trump information. Alleged Federal Bureau of Investigation cover-up to remove Trump's name from the Epstein list. Trump admitting to peeping on 14 to 15-year-old girls at around 1 minute and 40 seconds on the Howard Stern radio show. Trump's promise to his daughter. I have a deal with her. She's 17 and doing great, Ivanka. She made me promise. Swear to her that I would never date a girl younger than her. New York court documents alleging Trump raped a 13-year-old girl. Trump's modeling agency was possibly part of Jeffrey Epstein's pipeline. A Trump-Epstein timeline is available. Most of this information can also be found on the EpsteinDocs.com. Feel free to spread this information so it is never lost or deleted. Story 8. I think that is Trump, 79 years old and still in the magical thinking phase of development. He throws tantrums, wants everything his own way, does not share, and his favorite word is no. He is a man-baby and the President of the United States. Story 9. The fact that you are talking about an insane artificial intelligence video for a product that does not exist instead of the Epstein files. Story 10. Where are the Epstein files? Story 11. Isn't this the strangest thing? I mean, it's obviously an artificial intelligence video, but good enough to convince half of his supporters that it is real. It's not real science. He didn't issue any orders about it. There are not going to be medbed hospitals. Fox News did not run a news segment about it. If there were, it would not be an artificial intelligence news story. I suspect my parents will believe it, though. Anyone with 2 or more brain cells knows it's just crazy QAnon nonsense. It is not satirical enough for him to call it a joke or a what-if like his superhero memes, so it is not funny. The most believable explanation to me is that he thought he really said it and wants to brag about how great he is. What the hell? I just can't get my head around this. It does not make him money or puff him up. It makes him look foolish. I just don't get it. Story 12. Release the unredacted Epstein files now. Story 13, he believes they are real. He appears to be experiencing dementia. Story 14, short answer, dementia. Long answer, dementia. Story 15, magic medical beds? I am still waiting for magic affordable insulin. Story 16, dementia. Donnie thinks it is true, as sane as the Mara Salvatrucha 13 tattoos on Abriego Garcia's hand. Kankel's brain is mush, and the world gets to watch it melt. Story 17, discuss his latest nonsense post to have less time to talk about how he is a pedophile and all over the Epstein files. Story 18, he is fine, just a little glitch. That is the getting caught part. Someone should write a song about him and the useless 25th Amendment. Story 19, he is not doing this for the money. He is doing it for a huge amount of money. Story 20, Donald Trump is a child-raping dementia patient who is dying and desperately reaching out for anything that might save him. This is yet another demonstration of how easy it is to compromise the Swiss cheese brain of an anthropomorphic cumsock. Story 21, when you lie on it, you forget all about the Epstein files. Story 22, it was deleted from Truth, so here is the video link. Story 23, I assume Trump spends his days dreaming of a miracle technology that could keep him away from the specter of death and the rapidly encroaching gates of hell he sees every time he closes his eyes. Trump's dreams and delusions have been seeping into his posts for a long time. Story 24, given the suspected deterioration in the health of Donald Trump, he may be getting desperate and grasping at straws. Story 25, stupidity is what is behind it, and stupid people will eat it up. Story 26, syphilis and stimulant use have been damaging the brain for several decades. Story 27, it's his daily diversion from the Epstein files. If they ever opened a hospital with medical beds, which I'm pretty sure they will not, I would die before going to one. Robert F. Kennedy Jr. and this regime are all about eugenics. In the darkest corners of my mind, I fear this could be a way to lure homeless and poor people, as well as political opponents, to use them as test subjects. Lying fucking monsters. Why does Brian Kelfie Homeless Med still have a job? Story 28, this administration needs to be kicked out. It's an absolute joke while we are being robbed blind. Story 29, he is proving to the rest of the world something we already know. He is a moron and not fit to lead a horse to water, let alone a country. Story 30, wishful thinking. I am certain he wishes he had one right now. Story 31, I haven't seen it yet, but I think he has a serious undisclosed health issue and cannot imagine the world going on without Donald Trump. Here is an almost magical bed that he believes will cure him. Story 32, the president searches the internet for cures for his ailments. He finds miracle cures and shares them. Next, he searches for how to stay president for life. Story 33, Robert Kennedy, I have brain worms. The mind of the man is gone. Story 34, with any other post, the answer is pornography. With Trump, it is either money or withholding the Epstein files. Story 35, does Donald Trump have difficulty identifying artificial intelligence and a failing memory? Story 36, Casey Means works in administration and runs a health company that sells a variety of medical products, so this is probably related to him. This is a good video that covers him and the MAHA movement in general. Story 37, he believes the bed exists. He doesn't remember when he made the statements in the video, but because he sees himself making them, he assumes they are true. This is your stable genius, make America great again. Story 38, I have actually used one of these beds, but when we got out we were still hungry. Trandome, 2300 Anno Domini. Story 39, what can it be other than dementia? Does he not realize that he never said this? Story 40, 100% marketing opportunity to fleece his dumb supporters. Story 41, the fact that you felt compelled to post about it is the point. Story 42, dementia? Maybe another distraction from the Epstein scandal. Story 43, Donald Trump is a classic narcissist. He saw a video of himself in which he appeared clean and healthy, as he had not in decades, and spoke more eloquently than usual. He is obsessed with his image. Story 44. For the same reason, he sold Goya black beans with his girlfriend and Teslas with his boyfriend. He will do anything for $1, especially if he can brag about it. He loves the uneducated, after all. Story 45. In a more normal world, we would not have to wonder why our president said something. Story 46. Trump knows his popularity is slipping and that he is dishonest. This was a dopamine hit for him because he knows it will be wildly popular with the QAnon faction of his shrinking Make America Great Again base. He needs the adulation as criticism from the right grows louder. Story 47. It is his latest grift. He gets people to buy medbeds that do not exist, just like cryptocurrencies and digital trading cards. Story 48. Fox News, the Fox Broadcasting Company, is trash. Laura Trump is a dumpster. Trump is a man-child. His supporters are stupid enough to believe anything. There are so many possible answers. Story 49. He's slashing healthcare and threw a shiny object in front of his supporters. It was ridiculous. Why doesn't he have one? Story 50. He watched an episode of Star Trek and thought he had a great idea for some new food technology nobody had ever thought of, and he had not just seen it on television. The man has the brain capacity of a brontosaurus. Story 51. If I recall correctly, healing pods were a big part of the QAnon conspiracy movement's lore in 2020. It seems they lost the pedophile narrative amid discussion about the Epstein files and are now desperately recycling old claims to revive the movement. Story 52. Supporters of Make America Great Again will buy them, and guess who will be selling them? Story 53. Someone showed him Prometheus, and he thought it was a documentary about how we found our maker. Story 54. He believes that Star Trek is now because the magic box told him so. Story 55. Obviously, we are all getting medbeds and will be cured of our diseases and restored to young, healthy bodies. What else could be behind it? Story 56. He was probably paid to post it, but not enough to keep it up. Story 57. He just watched Elysium and thought it was a documentary. Story 58. I think Trump fell for a video created using artificial intelligence. If it were anyone else, that would be ridiculous, but Trump is possibly the dumbest person still capable of dressing himself and walking upright. Story 59. All Trump does is throw ideas against the wall and see what sticks. He has been very successful with that strategy. Story 60. Money and an easy way to move a large number of people from their homes to different, concentrated locations. Story 61. Honestly, the magic bed has been popular among older adults on Facebook for a while. Story 62. This was the natural evolution in healthcare after injecting bleach. Remember in his first term when President Trump was trying so hard to gut the Affordable Care Act? He kept saying he would replace it with something beautiful and perfect. I am sure at one point it involved tough grown men weeping in his presence. Now he has finally unveiled it. Story 63. Having seen what dementia does to a person, few things surprise me anymore. Story 64. Trump was likely mocking his own line when he said sending troops would heal cities. Story 65. As long as you are not asking about Epstein, he is winning. Story 66. He is a con man who profits from his followers. I cannot wait for this to be a thing of the past. Story 67. It's his newest grift to suck in followers of Make America Great Again and QAnon, conspiracy nuts, also known as easy pickings. Story 68. Disinformation and distraction, that is what it feels like. Story 69. It really has to do with Trump not knowing what he is doing and his delusion of reality. Story 70. He knows his audience is full of easily duped magical thinkers. Story 71. He is about to shut down the government by refusing to keep affordable healthcare subsidies. Story 72. They are testing to see if they can actually replace him with artificial intelligence. Story 73. Stargate, the television series, in which aliens enter sarcophagi to be regenerated. Do the beds have MyPillow pillows? Story 74. The grift. In the future, this period in American politics will be known as the grifting. Story 75. I think he has an iron in the fire and is looking to make a buck any way he can. Story 76. An expensive slice of metal that you pay to receive information, not advertisements. Story 77. He is an absolute moron. His followers will eat it up and praise him like Jesus. Story 78. He is spiraling, dying from something that is being kept secret and posting copium links. Story 79. Another scam. I would not be surprised if we all received a notification that we must pay the $447 membership fee for a service that does not exist. Story 80. He accuses everyone of being fake news and then constantly posts only literal false content. This is the most absurd timeline. Story 81. Most people support the United States becoming a leader in healthcare and socialized medicine, but they disagree about how to achieve that. Story 82. Someone gave him $20,000 in meme coin. You can do it too with the right connections. Story 83. I believe Trump's reported intelligence quotient of 73 might be responsible. Like with the Mara Salvatrucha 13 tattoo, he is too dumb to separate reality from fantasy. Story 84. Idiocy and habitual shitposting. Seriously, everything he does shows he is extremely unintelligent. Add greed and narcissism and that's the man. Story 85. This is his solution when voters complain about the massive healthcare cuts that are coming. The traditional media are not covering it because they oppose him. Story 86. I would be pissed if I were a Republican. Too bad they don't have any self-respect and would rather have a pedophile idiot as president than a black woman. Story 87. Just think of him as your boomer uncle with absolutely no sense of reality. It all makes sense then. Story 88. If you buy a Trump Gold medical bed card, which is probably coming soon, you can use a bed to calm your nerves while you die from a curable disease the bed cannot cure. Do not forget your Trump prescription card. Only the very best sugar pills. Story 89. A distraction to draw attention away from the Epstein files. Story 90. Some tech investor probably pledged an enormous sum of money to develop them. Story 91. I think your president is a con man and grifter who has always been one and does not know how to do anything else but grift. Story 92. Promising false miracles of healing is a very antichrist thing to do. Story 93. The rat-like cunning required to sniff out a grifting opportunity is the only part of his brain not yet riddled with dementia, apart from the part that governs psychopathic tendencies. Story 94. He thought it was cool until someone told Dementia Don that it was time for his medication, locked him in his room, and took it down. Story 95. The White House accounts are now spam accounts. That is why. Story 96. Did they? If you believed that, you deserve to be fooled by it. Just the phrase medical beds that can heal is enough to raise red flags. Story 97. I have not seen it, but the last time I saw him he looked geriatric as hell. My guess is he is inspired by real life and does not realize he is painting a picture of how decrepit he really is behind closed doors, without a team of people to prop him up and to make his face appear more orange. Story 98. Why has no journalist asked any White House representative about this video? Story 99. Trump is a fucking idiot who will believe literally anything presented to him. Story 100. A. He is a moron. B. He likes posting stupid stuff to get attention. C. It is another grift or scam. D. Some combination of the above. Story 101. His brain is even more liquid than the feces in his diapers. Story 102. Utter insanity. He wishes he had a magic bed. I bet it's on his buddy Epstein's island. Story 103. Honestly, I think it shows how much people deep down want to believe in hope and quick fixes. The idea of a machine that could simply heal anyone feels like something out of a science fiction dream, and it says a lot about how much we all crave safety, health, and a world where suffering is not permanent. Even if it is not real, the wish behind it is very human and quite beautiful. Story 104. Make America Great Again supporters will get the message that Donald Trump is curing all diseases. They will forget about it and never ask why medical beds did not materialize. Then when they get cancer, they will blame Joe Biden. Story 105. A. He believes it because he knows he is going to die soon. B. So they can take deposits on fake cards and make money. I bet this week you are going to hear about websites popping up taking deposits for the MedBed cards and Make America Great Again morons giving up a lot of money. Story 106. One of his cronies will be handed a multi-million-dollar contract to develop this non-existent technology. Story 107. Fan service. A lot of people are drawn into the Make America Great Again orbit via conspiracy podcasters, and one of the current conspiracies is that the elites have these magical med beds that allow them to live longer. Donald Trump wants conspiracy believers to think that he is going to bring these med beds to the masses because he is a big anti-establishment hero. It is, of course, bonkers to anyone who is not familiar with the conspiracy, but very popular with those who are. Story 108. Putin was rumored to have very advanced cancer, and videos and pictures from a few years ago showed his trembling hands and legs. He has appeared cherubic and full of vigor recently. Maybe he told Trump about the medbeds. Who knows? Story 109. If it were not all about money, we would have something like that now, given how far we have come with scientific machinery and medicine. But because it is all about profits, we will never have things like this or anything similar, since the money is in treating illness rather than curing everyone. Where are the profits for the shareholders? How will the rich get richer? There is a greater chance they are creating new diseases to sell new cures, making more people sick to collect more medical insurance premiums, than denying coverage by saying you do not qualify simply to make more money while reducing the population. Then they offer false hope by posting fake artificial intelligence videos instead of taking proactive steps to do something truly beneficial. Thanks a bunch for sticking around till the end of the video. Remember to subscribe, and until next time, stay awesome and goodbye.